So we see here where now, when you look here, he went on and he said, the more we continue sending the wrong message, you know what I'm saying? Well, what message should we send all over the world to tell y'all stop doing the bullshit y'all did to many races of people and the African people as well and the people of Egypt when you stole their land, you stole their culture, you stole everything that you could steal, you even tried to steal their God, you know what I'm saying, their gods or whatever you call it, and you're stealing every goddamn secret that you can possibly get your hands on that you like General Sarah Sultan said he said that he ain't fucking nailed down. And then when all that shit you done did over the years and rewrote these books and did all this other bullshit you call yourself doing, you know what I'm saying, in more ways than one is still that out to the same thing where the people end up losing their lives over bullshit and then you all go through some transformation between all your fighting each other, bullets, guns, every time you turn around, killing, murder, this, that, mission, this, that, and the third, and then you taking you end up pushing the Africans from the land, and then because you're bringing in war bombs and guns, you know what I'm saying, and then you fucking take over the land, and then you niggas start, you Arabs and Americans and these different factions of Caucasian, Cro-Magnons start fighting each other over the land, and then talk about you got to create a space for a group of people who are not from there at all. So this is why you wrote in your Bible that they came in to Egypt because you know they were never there. And second of all, they probably the race that you're talking about was probably never there in no shape or form in the book in which even going through Genesis in itself. You know what I'm saying? But he's saying the more we continue, we send a message, you know what I'm saying, to the more we complicate the situation. Well, how do you cause a ceasefire and some dialogue instead of seeing 34,000 million people being killed just in one little conflict that you say there was an attack? You know what I'm saying? He added, we have no, we have to, he said, no, we have to stand firmly regardless. Hamas is a designated terrorist, I guess, designated terrorist group in the United States, according to, you know what I'm saying, according to, hear the wordplay, according to an American law. So it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous thing of any lawmaker not to be able to distinguish this group. You know what I'm saying? It is very dangerous what they are doing. He insisted. This is not a political issue. Again, I'll say it again. The bullshit and the wordplay that you're swinging ain't telling us shit. Because when it comes to justice and peace and all that stuff you're talking about, that can be achieved very easily just cause all the war that you have across the land, you know what I'm saying, burning everybody in your fucked up hell, you know what I'm saying, and start and cease the fire. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Pull back your weapons of mass destruction. Because, you know what I'm saying, Creep Joe Biden was quick to send military might over there to Israel as if, like, in our mind, we so caught up to believe that the book and the Bible and all this different stuff you wrote is the people we see over there. When they are not. You know what I'm saying? And we know the history of their whole shit. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about not presenting a ceasefire, but you're saying it's very dangerous, you know what I'm saying, what they are doing, and this is not a political issue. It is a fundamental issue. Well, if it's fundamental and natural, because the mental in there should be fundy, you know what I'm saying, mental, you know what I'm saying, level-headed, straightforward, we know the facts, you know what I'm saying, then why isn't there a ceasefire? Still asking the same question. If it's fundamental, why do 50,000 Gazan people, you know what I'm saying, prior to them, before the Palestine was even there, you probably did it to the African people as well, and that was a genocide in itself. So why everybody acting as if like African people don't wear the scars of genocide from these wicked beasts in itself? You know what I'm saying? Because we black and they done told you that we're not in the Bible and we're this and we're that, we're Hamites, we're this, we're that, and all that bullshit you read in our book. And come to find out 95% or 100% of all that book has lied in many, many ways. You know what I'm saying? And it can be proven. You know what I'm saying? So what's so holy about it? You know what I mean? But at the same time, he's saying after the October 7th, here we go again. You have not truly investigated that, but it has been a rush to murder off, 40 or 45 or 35,000 million people. You know what I'm saying? In the Gaza Strip. You know what I'm saying? Some argue the group, you know what I'm saying, the group vigorous, you know what I'm saying, vigorous attack, he's intensifying, you know what I'm saying, on Hamas. Now, Hamas, or whoever these clowns seems to be, you know what I'm saying, have not shown me that you were there to really liberate anything or bring forth any kind of solution other than the murder and the killing as well of the Gazan and the Palestinian people. Now, you're going to tell me that every single Palestinian was down with Hamas on this attack? I don't think so. If they knew that tomorrow they were going to wake up and the whole city or the whole area would be bombed and their babies' heads would be blown off their body and the children's schools would be bombed and wherever you go and they tell you to go and wherever you run to hide it would be bombed, and then when you seek refuge over here in this area overhead over there would be bombed, and then you bomb all the hospitals, all the infrastructures destroyed, everything completely, and you're telling me in more ways than one that the vigorous attack warrant this much power coming from the British, the French, and American sending aircraft carriers and F-14s, and over there bombing and killing the people. You telling me, because that's probably who's doing most of the bombing and killing any fucking way if you ask me, because they're using their equipment too as well. And then you have the regular common people, they even going out there and killing the people as well. You know what I'm saying? So what justification under what religion is what the fuck that I'm asking that would justify this type of attack that you saying caused this attack that you saying was justification for you to kill off 50 million people or genocide a whole race of people and say that's the way you're getting rid of a group who we don't hear that you're killing at all. What we're here you're killing is the people. So in more ways than one, you know what I'm saying, a vigorous attack amount to a justified defense after the treatment of the Palestinian people. How is it justified? I don't get it. It sounds kind of clown and wicked and low-hearted and, you know what I'm saying, beastly, like you working for somebody else. But you're saying the treatment, Palestinian people, some label the Gaza Strip the world's biggest open air prison or something like that, and others said the Palestinians through Hamas had no choice but to act. Had no choice but to act on who part? Because the regular people that you're killing, the children, the women, and all this stuff. You telling me all of them had something to do with the rocket launcher and send a rocket over there and kill, so they say 1,000 people, 1,000 and change people of these group of people who invaded there in the first place and had been killing the people there and enslaving them and paying for a transatlantic slave trade in order to remove the Africans first of all from the land and this and that, and sending Mussolini and all kinds of bullshit going on with it. So, but Youssef rejects such claims, noting that Israel left the Gaza Strip almost 20 years ago, and that Hamas governed in that time. with an iron fist. So, like I said, when we look at many of the groups that's over there, saying, in different parts of the world, ruling with an iron fist and murdering and killing the people, saying, such as what you see with many other, they say, tyrannical African generals and leaders are doing right now, probably in Sudan and many other places in Ethiopia, needs to be cleaned up, and it needs to stop, and a ceasefire needs to come straight off the bat, because you're wicked, ways. You're destabilizing the area and pushing the people off the land so y'all could captivate that central region in itself. You know what I'm saying? But he said when Hamas took over, they were governing with an iron fist, while multiple governments worked to weaken it. Oh yeah, back and forth with the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You see, Gaza was under a blockade. Now, why would you have Gaza under a blockade? So you're telling me all the Palestinian people, every single one of them was down with attacking Israel and running them out? Maybe so. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure time has changed and things have changed over many years. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, many of them brought war to the African people that were there before them. You know what I'm saying? And many Africans probably even involving themselves in this war as well, that was probably dishonest in many ways and in many things. You know what I'm saying? Many things are happening, many con games, but to get to the bottom of it all is what we don't need, because we can't live in the past. We got to look at what's happening now. Now, what's happening now, based on what we see, is that when we look at, he's saying that Gaza was under, at one point, a blockade, not only by Israel, but also by Egypt. Now, the people you see in Egypt is not Egyptians. You know what I'm saying? They're Caucasians and calling themselves Arabs and all type of shit. Same as we see over there in Saudi Arabia. You know what I'm saying? With the Saudis. They over there calling themselves Saudi this and Saudi that, but they're not Africans. You know what I'm saying? They're just the same as the Caucasian group that invaded and stole this name and bringing their own mixed religions and so forth. Same as we see who's controlling Egypt right now. It's not Egyptians, it's Arabs. You know what I'm saying? Turks, I believe. You know what I'm saying? And other international forces, because Hamas did not agree to drop their guns and recognize Israel's right to exist. Exist from where? And if you said that you came into Egypt back in Exodus, why would you have had and God led you to the land of milk and honey? You know what I'm saying? And the Canaanite Goliath was there. You know what I'm saying? And all this different nasty Jew story you told. Then you know what I'm saying, you would have not been fighting this long to have an understanding of existence within the region in the first place. So you are lying, a son of a gun. You know what I'm saying? In itself, talking about recognizing Israel's right to exist. That means that you had no existence there before. You know what I'm saying? Yusuf explained. That was the only reason for the blockade. You see, it was a security blockade, such as they did in India as well, and they probably did over in there, what we call today Haiti, you know what I'm saying, which they put a blockade and a pathway there, and they call it, saying they did in Ireland. You know what I'm saying? It had nothing to do with the race or with nationalism. Yeah. So what did it have to do with? You know what I'm saying? Crazyism of murder a million people. hmm See? Excuse me. Making the performance of these tyrants to be legitimized in the eyes of even their own people where they do strictly bullshit to them for years and years and years of tyranny. And then even when time has passed, rather than get rid of the whole group or family itself that is calling itself ruling as a dictator, they go and let the son take over when he is gone. What is the stigmata of Papa Dot Duvalier leaving, and then you have Baby Dot Duvalier? Does that make any fucking sense? And then you have too much turmoil under that gun in the first place. But when we see everything he's saying, is wrong with this group, as I've said, there is nothing good or righteous about Hamas. No one said that, Mr. Youssef. We said a ceasefire, such as we see and want to see in Ethiopia with them two scunklot, ducknut fucking jackass generals who over there fighting each other, whatever they call themselves doing, and disrupting Sudan at a great rate. I believe Soros might have something to do with that, and many others. Same as we see in Ethiopia, every time the Ethiopians decide they're going to cut off the water or use the water to do this and use the water to create energy or any type of things like that, the Nile that runs down there, anytime the Ethiopians decide to call themselves doing that, they get attacked, by the other group up the hill that's close to them. I think they call it Treaties or some stupidness like that. And many, I don't know what the real name of them, but it's another Arab ass group as well, and they attack the Ethiopians, so they cause civil war within Ethiopia, and then they be out there, like I said, in many of these countries, Sudan and all these different places that these wars break out, raping the women, probably raping grandma right out of a rocking chair, probably fucking even the little babies and shit, and doing little shit like that, the retarded fucking ass, vulgar bitches, and then sitting there raping them in the middle of the street, right in front of the husband and the children, the husband and his children, sitting there watching his mother being raped by these soldiers. And I mean, vulgarness to his highest ability. Could you imagine what was going on even prior, many years ago, the different stories that you could, if you was to dig it out and really find out what all the different things that they have done on this planet, it would make you literally fucking throw up. You wouldn't even want to be a part of this thing we call a human race. You know what I'm saying? It'll be such a disgrace in itself. So while he's talking about, righteous and about Hamas, he's saying they adopted killing, destruction, and violence as the only method towards achieving their political and religious agenda. Excuse me, Mr. Green Party dude, y'all been doing that bullshit to all types of people, and especially African people, the original people of planet Earth, and the goddesses of Africa for a very, very long time. So where you talk, and then you was doing it to other people as well for a very, very long time. So the turmoil and all the bullshit you talking about, adopting, killing, destruction, and violence as the only means, as the only method towards achieving, a political and religious, agenda. You're full of shit. You know what I'm saying? You're full of shit talking about political and religious. You're full of shit. And this is what the world has to stand up against, because this is the type of mind frame in which they keep you dizzy founded and then sit up there and do a whole bunch of garbage to you. You know what I'm saying? So when we look here, we see, so what's good? This is him saying again. So what's good about Hamas? Killing people, you know what I'm saying? Indiscriminately killing Palestinians, killing Arabs, killing Jews, and killing Americans. You know what I'm saying? He asked. But guess what? America is not all the people in America, but a vast majority was doing the same thing to African people right here on this here soil for almost 400 something years and better. You know what I'm saying? And even before that in Africa and stuff, and still doing it to the same thing, to the beat today. Talking about slavery over when you still doing slave medical bullshit to people, especially with the COVID lines and different all kinds of different shit that y'all been doing. Arab boy over there still doing the same old bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And you got nerve to talk about America. America ain't all of America in that bullshit with them. You know what I'm saying? The vast majority of people they ain't following behind no stupid garbage because they ain't just that fucking stupid. And you know what I'm saying? And they all need to start calling American people stupid Americans. You stupid just to fucking see them in order to even make the statement in the first place. You jackass. You know what I'm saying? What kind of life are you trying to live? Rape everybody while you sit there and drink Cerveza? You know what I'm saying? Or wine and laugh ha 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 like you always do. You know what I'm saying? Eating a big French bread stuck in your fucking mouth. You know what I'm saying? But when we see here talking about killing ours, we all been doing that bullshit to each other for a minute. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad that common people have to be born in a situation only to grow up to find out of a disgrace of what their people really is. You know what I'm saying? He asked. You know what I'm saying? Killing Americans, he asked. They have blood on their hands. So does the United States that you calling this place of America. You know how much blood they have on their hands? You know what I'm saying? And all across this planet? You know what I'm saying? We asking all of y'all motherfuckers to chill the fuck out. Fuck that religious shit. We don't need it. That's your hang up. We mad at you for the bull, but when your bull seems to lean over into the people and be hurting the people and killing the common people and forcing them and driving them and enslaving them and raping them and sex trafficking them and every fucking sacrifice and blood sacrifice and wash us in the blood and all kinds of biomedical non-cynical garbage that you are following on the common people. This is where the shit gets to be fucking shitty. So let's look at this when you're saying that, you know, saying they have blood on their hands. Who all have blood on their hands? They have been using violence since the beginning of their movement as the only strategy. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yes, just like America have been doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Not all Americans, but the shitty ass leaders that we have and the policies and the executive orders that they put down on the military and these different groups that's working together with them calling themselves working this planet and moving everybody around, bombing, killing, chemical weapon, biological attacks, talking about medical, you know what I'm saying, and all type of bullshit that's going on, you know what I'm saying, and let every enemy surround us from all sides so we could, when they come in, all the people will still be asking, what happened? Oh my God, what are they doing to us? Oh, they turned off the lights, the water, the food, and we're all going to be raped and starved and murdered and shooting and killing and getting and chaos and then you can say you have your old Revelation Bible accurate as it is. Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? But as we've seen here, he's saying since the beginning of their movement as the only way to justify and just to crown their violence, you know what I'm saying? Just to crown and just to wait a minute, he's saying only strategy and they just crown their violence with a genocide. So what is obvious about Hamas? Well, they didn't crown it as a genocide because you've been genociding your own people for years talking about they just crowned a genocide. You know what I'm saying? And if Netanyahu is a fake ass religious wanna be the original people, but he ain't no more than an original clown and an original liar. You know what I'm saying? Wants to sit up here and call himself God, holy people, God's people, and all this shit when you are not, and what God you're talking about, there is not. You know what I'm saying? You're an idiot, and that's a fact, and you want to run that bullshit down on black. But it ain't working, you know what I'm saying? And while this guy here from the Mr. Green Party, I mean, Green Prince or Prince or whatever his name, Alfonso, you know, whatever he called himself, Mr. Yusuf, you know what I'm saying? You talking a lot of stupid shit when I really sit down and observe what you were talking about, and none of it made any sense to me. You know You know what I'm saying? When it's fake ass Israel, calling itself Israel, Israel. Yeah, where you get that from? Madame Blavatsky and them. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? When you talk about both sides, Hamas and all these different groups that come in and take over the people and then start ruling them and all this and that, as if they need to be sucker punch every time your group come around, and then next thing you know, you and they're dictating for the next 5,000 years. You know what I'm saying? Taking little girls from the house for payment. You know what I mean? Saying that you could sleep with a 6-year-old girl in your book and all kinds of different stuff going on doesn't make much sense. You know what I mean? So we know for well that a lot of stuff that y'all are doing is obvious to see. So when you say what's obvious with Hamas, what's obvious with the crooked ass leaders we have over here, the crooked shit that they're doing over here for years. Every time they want to justify something, they always say it was an attack. You know what I'm saying? But they go and put